Muses for April 6th, 2022. For those of you who have been coming for a while, you'll notice that I rebranded it as our creative play date with the Muse. I think that I really, I tend to be really serious, and I need to lighten up sometimes. So this is me seriously trying to lighten up. um, and let's see. So if you were, for most of you, I believe, were here with me for the Q1 Council of Muses retreat on March 26th. And this is our first session since then, because my MailChimp reminder did not go out last week. And so nobody came and we didn't meet. So we've got brand new, I'm sorry. Oh, that's right. You did show up. You did show up.
I was here early.
And how did I miss you? Because I remember connecting with you about 20 minutes past, but
you were late. And
yeah.
Then about the time I disconnected, I went on Facebook to look you up.
yeah. Okay. Very good. So anyway, so yes. But anyway, I wound up not having it, and it probably was a good thing because it was a rough week anyway. Well, it's always a rough week, isn't it? So today we've got brand new Smashbooks, and I will be walking through the creation of a very special grounding page that connects to our theme for this year in Council of Muses, which is that we gather to create art and experiences that help us to recognize and appreciate and develop our creative potential, and to manifest that potential in ways that make our world more beautiful, joyful, loving, and abundant. And so we'll be using that theme of beauty, joy, love, and abundance to create a compass that can orient us and ground us every time we come back to our Cosmic Smashbooks for Council of Muses. So as we dove a little bit more deeply in that retreat into the question of beauty, in particular, and that being our theme that we'll be focusing on, our area that we'll be focusing on for Q1. So for the months of April, May, and June this year. And that's the Council of Muses Q1. It has nothing to do with the calendar year. So I had something that I wanted to share this week, particular something that had come up as you know, I usually try and be mindful about what's coming up for me in my life, in work and whatnot. And not to save my life can I remember what it is right now, but what is sort of showing up for me on my desk tonight is a practice that I'll also be integrating into connecting with the Cosmic Smashbook grounding page. Sorry, I'm non-articulate today. Which is a practice I have which I call my witness book. This is a beautiful refillable leather journal, and I just keep a very tiny notebook in it, and I try to carry it with me. And throughout the day, whenever somebody sort of tugs on the red thread, asks for prayers, is asking for support, I try to witness them, and I'll just make a little note in my journal, and I collect these, and I've got quite a collection of them at the moment. And I've got also here some names that I had written out to include on a canvas, and I just misplaced this page and they never got collaged in. So I am going to be also, as we create these grounding pages, thinking about the people in our world that we are connected to that might need our thoughts and prayers, and maybe considering to just write a little thought or a little prayer for them on a piece of paper, and we can incorporate those into our books as well. But for the moment, I want to start with a brief meditation to help us sort of settle into and be present to the energy of this creative space tonight. So and I think I need it more than anybody today. So taking a deep breath in and out. We'll do 3 cleansing breaths, and then if you're ready, you can close your eyes. And out. And in. And out. Now, on your next breath in, I want you to bring your attention to your solar plexus, to your power center. And I want you to really bring the freshness and presence to that spot, that attention. And as you do, I want you to try to visualize this as a glowing light. And I want you to notice what is the color of the light in your solar plexus. And I want you to breathe in and breathe out. And now you can breathe in and out naturally. But as you do, with each breath, imagine that that light is growing larger and larger. Breathing in, it expands to touch your heart, and it is lit up with the sparkling fire of your soul and of your love that you are. It's energized and charged with a different kind of power. And as you breathe in and out, I want you to feel that light expanding. Imagine it expanding to encompass your entire torso and your entire body. And expanding beyond your body to begin to fill the room, to expand around the home that you're in. And knowing that out beyond that home in your community, there are other people who have the same intentions with you. And so expand that bubble until you feel your energy intersecting with like-minded and like-hearted people in the homes of your neighborhood, of your town. And sit there and just feel the connection. And follow that connection. Notice how it goes from soul to soul, from light to light. And notice how it travels to the edges of your town, to the edges of your county, your state, covering our nation, covering our globe in a web of light. And breathe in this beautiful light, each light a different color. Your own light is so brilliant, so precious. It is your own unique color. And you can sense the colors, the rainbow colored web of heartfelt connectedness and caring. And let's just stay here in this for a moment. And perhaps if you sense one whose light might be going a little dim, send a little extra love out to them. And if perhaps you are flagging, let the love flow into you. Be blessed and be re-energized by this infinite rainbow connection. Take a couple more breaths. And now I want you to start to bring your consciousness back in, gather your light back in from the edges of the town, the neighborhood, back into your home, back into your room, into your body. But with it, you carry little sparkles of all the lights, and feel those coming down, 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 blessing your heart right down into your power chakra. And feel yourself seated in your chair, your feet grounded on the floor, breathing naturally as it comes to you. And when you're ready, stretch your arms, wiggle your fingers and toes, and slowly open your eyes and come back into the room. Oh. Mm. Mm. I love that. Meditation is a little different every time I do it, but I loved it tonight. I think uh, you know, obviously a lot of that was about that red thread that connects us, that heartfelt connection between all of us. And so I would love to ask the red thread inquiry for each of us tonight is what color was your chakra? What color was your power chakra light? And did it have any meaning for you? And if you'd like to share, I would like to. I can see Bettina smiling, so I'm passing the red thread to Bettina.
Nope. My light was orange.
Ooh.
Yes, it was bright orange, almost like fire.
Uh-huh.
And I don't really know if it had meaning.
Uh-huh.
It was just the glow that I found when I got there.
Very nice.
So I will pass the red thread to Diane. Catch.
My color was red.
Oh my
Bright red.
We have a very hot, fiery group of women here today.
Yes,
Mine
we
was
do.
kind of magenta. Hot pink. All right. Very cool. Very, very cool. So this is my invitation to you now is, and I'm gonna spotlight my desk now, is to take that color to your grounding page and just in some form or other, whether you take it with a pastel, a crayon, a marker, whatever you have to hand, bring that color onto your page. All right. And we're just going to lay down a thin layer of color and just to really presence ourselves and bring our power into our intention for this grounding page, because we're going to be working from our strength and our power in all that we do. And then while your paint is still wet, if you have any glitter, I would absolutely invite you to sprinkle just a little dusting of colorful glitter to remind us of all the beautiful souls that we really truly are connected to worldwide, and how we saw those lights sparkling in our vision, and we're able to bring a little bit of that energy and share our energy with them. In fact, I think I am going to honor each of you by adding a little bit of orange and red into my painting. I think that'll be nice. Right. Right.
Orange.
I think I'm going a little too heavy with my color here, so it's going to need a little time to dry. So that's all right. I think I can. All right. So, let's see. While that's drying, I would invite you to take a separate piece of paper, just a piece of scrap paper. So I'm going to set this on the side and just spend a few minutes while that is drying, thinking of anybody who has been in your mind or on your heart, and who you might really want to recognize and incorporate into this page today. I was showing earlier, Mary Beth, my and I don't know if you, I know that you were busy. I was showing sort of some old pages from my little witness book that have just little random prayers and stuff spent that are on them. And so this is, you know, while the pages are drying, if you put down wet color like I did, this is maybe something you can do, is just write some names on little pieces of paper, and we'll collage those in a little bit when we get a little further down the road on this painting. And don't forget to add your glitter while the paint is wet if you're adding.
Oh, glitter.
I certainly forgot it myself. But it's still wet, so it is not too late.
It's not that thick.
Actually need to just get away for a second. And as another reminder, remember to, oops, remember to take pictures from time to time of your work as you're going through it. And there we go. There we go. Particularly if you have messages that you want to capture in underneath layers of Cosmic Smashbooking, it's a great idea to photograph regularly. So for the month of April, we're going to resume report outs for Council of Muses. So if you've got any kind of a goal that you're working on or a project, the invitation is that each month we will meet, we will share what it is we said we were going to do, what it is we did, what it is where we hit barriers or challenges, and what we're going to do for the next month. And this is sort of a basic report out format, and then you can get feedback from the group. Now, this is, you know, anybody who is a member of my Patreon we will accommodate as many people as we can, but the people who are a member of my Patreon and subscribers, this is one of their benefits as a patron. So they would sort of get first dibs on availability, but you know, we've got plenty of time and plenty of space, so we'll accommodate as many people as are interested in participating in that report out format. I just want to acknowledge that, you know, this is something that I have designed as part of the offering, and so it's that they definitely have it's sort of a guaranteed seat at that particular table if they're working on something and want that level of support. But again, you know, we'll go around the table as long as we have time. So it's a pretty small, intimate group. I don't see that being a problem at this point in the journey. So if your page is getting, it's not quite, mine's not really getting dry, but the next thing I'd invite you to do is just to start collaging some of those names in there, particularly if you feel that they have a connection to any of those 4 themes. We're not going to be, and this is just sort of a holding place for them and inviting them to participate in the energy of this group. In fact, I might even just go back and put them sort of in between the pages, to be honest with you. I sometimes do that for things that are not necessarily a part of the design, but rather a part of the intention. So you can actually go in between those 2 pages that you have and add them in there. And so there you go.
Like a pocket?
Yep. I actually just separate the pages completely, and I'm just going to paste them sort of in between the pages. I've already made the intention when I wrote the prayer. And so now it is just a way of sort of including them in the isn't that interesting?
Not happening.
Too tightly glued.
Yeah, I glued it before I painted it.
Yep.
Okay, I'll glue a 3rd page.
There you go. Reglue this. There we go. You'll just know that they're in there. I'm tearing my pages apart by doing all this work with them while I put way too much paint on tonight. Was in a painting mood. I think I'm going to do the same thing you did on this page and just do a 3rd page on there.
So we left the gluing option open.
Here's my COVID wish for the entire world on that prayer right there. May the virus be rendered harmless and all that are suffering be healed.
Shoot. That's okay.
Uh-oh, is that an uh-oh?
Yeah, uh-oh.
I'm gonna save that one for another day. That. That's a really good idea, though, to just add another page on. So thank you for that, Bettina, because
You're welcome.
my page was not real happy about the treatment I've been giving it. So I know there's going to be lots of layers, so I'm not so worried about these little tears, these little paint tears in the fabric. In fact, I think they're kind of interesting. But the page itself is a little bit worse for the wear. So, all right. So, the next layer that I'm going to invite you to join me in creating for this particular Smashbook is to create a compass, and the quadrants or the cardinal points of this compass will be beauty, joy, love, and abundance. These are the 4 themes. And so rather than doing a cross, I'm going to do a diagonal, because I want each of these directions to fill that whole space, right? So I'm going to create 4 wedges. And so just intuitively pick what colors feel right to you. I'm definitely feeling this bright green and this turquoise, and I'm just going to make a cross across my page. Generally speaking, as you may know, I'm not a very neat person. I'm more of a let's put the paint down and see what happens kind of person. And then I'm going to probably either collage or I don't know, we'll see. Either paint on, but more likely collage the 4 Council of Muses qualities onto the page. And just right there in the center, make some sort of a symbol or a mark for yourself to center yourself in this page, in this work. Right. All right. So I am going to designate, I'm going to start in the east with our first quarter here, because I feel like I want to sort of come to a finish at the top at the end. So I'm going to start here with our theme for this quarter, which is beauty. And I think I am going to just paint it on there. And I don't know, I don't want to use, I think I kind of want to use gold, actually. And although this is a very translucent gold. So maybe I'll just do white and I'll go over it with gold later. So if you want to write this onto a piece of paper and collage that in, that's totally fine. That I'm gonna think you can figure out. But if you would like to know how to paint letters and have them sort of, there is kind of a trick toward writing with a paintbrush as opposed to painting with a paintbrush or writing with a pen. There are things you can do to make the letters behave a little better, if you will. And the first is that all your strokes go from top to bottom. So I'm going to start with the B here. I'm going to go here, and then I'm going to lift this up off the page, and I'm going to start at the top again and bring it from the top to the bottom to make that B. And then again, instead of making this loop at the top for the E, I'm going to actually make the back and bottom half of the E first, and then I'm going to bring it from the top down to the bottom for there. So as you can see, I'm sort of starting at the uppermost point for each stroke, and it helps me to control the lettering a little better, because a brush simply doesn't have the same kind of continuity as a pen does. So and second quality that we'll be working with this year will be joy. And watch here on the J, I went only halfway through that circle, and I'm actually going to, there we go, come over to the other side to finish it and bring that hook again from the top to the bottom.
Oh, thanks.
So for the same for the O, I'm going to go from top to the bottom, and then I'm going to go up to the top again and bring it down to the bottom. And the letters are generally, for me, I find, like I said, much better behaved when I do this sort of discipline. Beauty, joy, love, and abundance. And honestly, I think we tend to downplay the importance of abundance. I know that I certainly grew up in a religion that, you know, adhered to the love of money is the root of all evil. Now they were good, and they were bright enough to say it wasn't money itself. That's not intrinsically evil, but you know, don't love it. And while I agree with that, there is also kind of a puritanical poverty mentality that goes a little too far in the other direction. That's almost reactionary to that often causes us as creators and as spiritual people to say, oh, well, you know, I don't want to be greedy, and I don't want to be, you know what, we are worthy of all these things, abundance included, and abundance in all its forms. And so I really actually am sort of very intentionally putting that here at the top, because actually when I think of abundance, I also think that abundance for me doesn't mean anything if people around me are still lacking, right? But I can't help other people to achieve abundance if I am lacking either. So rather than, you know, sort of staying stuck in guilt and fear and unworthiness, what if we shifted into a sort of a pattern instead of I am going to become a channel for abundance, and through me it's going to flow out to my community, to others, and it's going to become a blessing to all those connected with me in any way. So I mean, we see communities that operate that way, and you know, there's a lot to be said for that. Yes, Mary, do you have your hand up, Mary Beth?
I was going to say, I was working my way. I still am. I'm nearly done now, but I was working my way through Julia Cameron's book, The Artist's Way. And, you know, the premise of the book is, you know, each chapter is supposed to take a week.
Yeah.
And, you know, each chapter is based on, you know, a different part of being an artist and what have you. You know, sometimes it's synchronicity, sometimes it's, you know, just sort of forgiving yourself. But it took me 6 weeks to get through the abundance chapter. I was very, very, very much blocked there. So, and I think that's true for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think, especially creatives.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I personally, actually, you know, sort of like the job I have has nothing to do with my creativity, what have you.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and I think I think I was even taught in art school, it's like, you are not going to make money doing this. So don't think that, that it's
Wow.
going to be you,
Yeah,
Anyway, it's interesting to think about though.
it is. That's really, really interesting. I know, of course, I didn't go to a serious art school like you did. I went to a trade art school at Northeastern, right? And so they were all about, you're going to be a graphic designer, you're going to be a this, you're going to be a that, and it was very it was it was almost more about the now, and so there was a strong practical aspect, right, to the focus on the study of the arts at Northeastern. um and if you're a real artist, you wouldn't go to a school like Northeastern. um and isn't it interesting that we don't have to believe any of those stories at all? You can be a real artist and go to Northeastern. You can be a real artist and make money. You can be a real artist and not give a shit about money. It really comes down to what is it that you want to create in your life.
Yep.
And shame on them for inflicting those narratives on us,
Yes,
Yes.
that's right. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. So normally, whenever I've done a grounding page in the past, I usually sort of start with handprints. That's sort of a really common format for doing a grounding page in Cosmic Smashbooks. And I may very well add some handprints here, but I really thought that since I'm zeroing in on these qualities, I thought a compass would be just a really good thing to connect to, right? That we can really, when we come back to this page at the beginning of every session, what do these things mean to you? So my final invitation for this particular page, and then after that, just keep working through it, and let the muse sort of be your guide. But you could do a couple of things. So the first thing you might want to do is pause and do a short haiku on each one of these 4 items. So if you are familiar with, if you're not familiar with it, haiku is a form of poetry that is based on syllables, a syllabic structure. It has 5 syllables in the first line, 7 in the second line, and 5 in the third line. Normally, it is connecting some quality or experience or subject back to nature. It's generally trying to sort of tie our experience back into something in nature that teaches us about that subject. But the primary thing is to write what you feel like, but it's a nice structure because it is so limited, right? Because it's so concise and limited. So I would like to invite us to do that. And then the second thing is, if you're not feeling the haikus, or you're feeling a little bit more whatever, I would invite you to pick sort of a color for each of these quadrants and then start adding pattern into each quadrant. Pick a color and a pattern that expresses beauty to you, and you can even just sort of start making random marks on the page and say, oh, you know what, this is just what, go with your, this would be very intuitive and very unstructured. It doesn't even necessarily have to be a pattern in the traditional sense of, something that's repeating. It could just be a pattern in the sense of, just whatever your brush wants to do. Follow your brush, and but just simple abstract marks on the page that just feel good to you. Like for me, one of the most expressive things for beauty is scrolls and vines. So I might go into this one here and take that gold that I was looking at earlier. I might go downstairs and get a more opaque paint that I left downstairs. But I'm going to demonstrate here real quickly, right? And just start making, for me, I really, really, really associate scrolling vine patterns with beauty. So I can just go in and start creating some of those and filling this whole quadrant with what to me is sort of a symbol that feels beautiful, right? And maybe in joy, I would fill it with daisies because daisies are very happy. You know, some simple, you know, simple multi-petal flower with a little dot in the middle, but super simple, nothing too complicated. And just fill it with something that sort of expresses that quality to you. So that would be my invitation. And as you do the pattern making, in fact, I would suggest maybe start with the pattern making and see as you complete each section if it perhaps suggests something poetic that you could express in a short haiku. So that's my invitation to you. And if the muse is taking you in another direction, then off you go.
Oh, hot.
And I'm finding that as I do this painting also, I'm coming back to the thought of those who need our thoughts and support, those people that we might have written little prayers for, or Mary Beth, your friend that you were talking to at the beginning of the session. And I'm sort of putting that intention into this paint to bring a little more beauty to the lives of those who need it. Right now. Excuse me.
God bless you.
I thank you. Ah.
Totally just lost the cap.
You what?
Totally
Lost-
just lost the cap to my gold paint pen.
Uh-oh.
Strange. Strange.
As you're painting through these also, notice if you particularly notice if you feel any sense of resistance in any of these areas. And if you do, I would strongly encourage you to just sort of do a short free write about it. And just see what might be trying to come through or come up for you. Because it's very easy to talk about all these great things, but these lovely, beautiful love and light things. But if we don't do the shadow work that corresponds to it, then we're really oftentimes just fooling ourselves, right? I mean, fake it till you make it is great to get you through a crisis, but if you want to create real change, it is important to be authentic with yourself and not just be sort of plastering positive affirmations without acknowledging what you might really be feeling underneath it. But the nice thing about these is that these are just intentions and areas of focus. We're not saying everything's like this, but we're trying to bring more of this into our life. And so if you are noticing resistance, that's a great place for you to bring a little extra attention and inquire as to what that resistance might be, because removing resistance is what will allow more of this to flow into your life.
Ladies, I need to sign off, but good to see you all.
Likewise. Thanks for popping in today, Mary Beth.
Yeah, I can show you mine, Tara, that I've
I would
worked
love
on.
to.
I stole a lot of your ideas because I was
Oh,
getting a
how
bit of a block.
gorgeous. Holy
And
moly. I would
gave
love you to post that in the
wonderful-
Slack channel.
Oh yeah, I'll post a picture, sure.
Gorgeous.
I loved your instructions for doing the letters with a paintbrush. I just wasn't ready to do that yet.
Yep. No, it looks great. Awesome. Have a lovely weekend. We'll see you next week, I hope.
Bye, Mary Beth.
So, oh, I know exactly what I want here. Exactly what I want.
I still can't find my cap.
That's too bad.
Mm. You're still looking for your cap, you said?
I stopped, but now I'm looking again because I'm
Mm-hmm.
okay. I'll stop looking for now. Sweep later.
Oh. You don't have anything else you can like sort of temporarily help it with by chance?
No, not that I can think of.
No. Maybe you can put it in like a little,
My cap that falls off something though.
maybe you can put it in like a little baggie so it doesn't dry out at least.
Oh, that's a good idea.
It's very interesting for me not to make love the central thing. I feel like
Right.
I've worked with that for so long. I need to shift up and try a slightly different perspective for a change. Just to have a different focus. Not saying it's not the center and the core of everything, but saying that right now I'm bringing my attention where I actually need some help. Really need. This is critical.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. No one's poverty serves anyone. Everybody deserves.
And
You
there's
have their,
plenty to go around.
there absolutely is. There's people who, yeah, don't hardly know what to do with all their money. They get so much of it.
Right?
Yeah, unfortunately, that doesn't necessarily always equate to actual abundance in some
No.
cases. Quite the opposite, as a matter of fact. Oh my God, I love this page.
Your
Really?
page is so juicy. I'm copying yours and mine isn't half as juicy.
Ah, well, you know what? Make sure you just keep working until the muse gets a hold of you.
Oh, she's got a hold of me.
Yeah,
I'm
Good.
pleased with my page.
good, 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 good. Good. How about you, Diane? Oh, is she gone? She's gone.
Is she gone?
Yep, just you and me, Bettina. Holy moly, I love this page. I haven't created a grounding page that felt this like this is just like a jungle. This is like tropical almost. And tropical is not normally my thing. I'm thinking I feel an actual as opposed to a virtual retreat to Hawaii coming on, don't you, Bettina?
Yep.
I think the Council of Muses needs to go to Hawaii. I think we need
I
to
think
hire,
so.
we need to have our resident travel agent, Mary Beth, help us figure it out. Well, let's see what we do with all this. Holy moly. All right. Well,
What'd you put in abundance?
I put growing things, leaves, and they went all over the page. They
That's
went
awesome.
they went everywhere because they're abundant.
Yeah, I can't see that screen anymore.
Oh, I did. I stopped
fine.
spotlighting it. There we go. Here's the screen. So
Oh my goodness gracious, look at that.
and it feels so right. You know what feels so right about it is that all of these things feed into abundance. I think the order is really, really, really right. Beauty is what we need to charge ourselves up. And joy is how we know we're doing the right stuff.
Yep.
Love always needs to be present. It just always does.
Yes.
And then if you are cultivating all these things, abundance, I think, is the natural result.
Yes. If our brain doesn't stop us.
Yeah. Yeah.
If our limiting beliefs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
don't
Limiting
stop
beliefs,
us.
old habit actions,
Yep.
you know, yep. Doing things the same way we've always done and expecting a different result.
Yep.
I think it needs more dots. Lots more dots. Oh no, not wet dots. Not drippy dots. This page is not a drip page. Not yet, anyway. I think it does need a glaze, though. I think it needs a glaze to integrate all of this. And then, oh my. Oh, this is going to be beautiful. I think I am going to do a glaze. I'm going to do a, ooh, am I brave enough to do a turquoise phthalo glaze over all of this? And then bring back out what I want. I don't know if I'm brave enough to go that deep. I might do like a violet glaze. Oh yeah, I think the violet will be nice and transparent. If I have the right kind of violet. I can do phthalo blue and quinacridone magenta. I've got quinacridone violet. Ooh, yes, I've got quinacridone violet glaze. This is going to be yummy. I gotta wait till it dries. I gotta wait till it finishes all the, oh my gosh, this is gonna be amazing. So I'm gonna do a glaze in quinacridone violet, and then I'm gonna bring back out the elements that I really want to emphasize.
There you go.
Gorgeous. I don't know why I want to do this so much, but I really do. Excited, excited. I'm going to pause and work on my haikus now. I'm gonna put them on something that I can. I think this page needs some tiny pockets for tiny haikus. They probably need to be done before the glaze. Maybe I need a koan. That's like only 2 lines, right? Instead of 3.
Yeah, I think so. Did you stop the recording?
Nope. I am still working, still letting the recording run.
Right back.
All righty.
So, all right, so we're wrapping up for the evening, and I will say it's just me and Bettina now. So, love to have you share what you've been working on, Bettina, if you like, or if you want to start with mine. We'll just take turns here.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, there we go. Here you go. Oh, yay! Yeah, isn't this a fun page?
Yes, I loved doing this page. I loved learning how to paint the letters.
Uh-huh.
And thank you for the wonderful ideas. This is one of the yummiest Smashbook pages I've made.
This one is just flowing for me. I'm so happy with it.
Yes.
I'm glad you had fun making it. And
I have a tree in the
great.
center because I'm always growing.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Yes. I've been listening to the Red Book by Carl Jung, and he actually talks a lot about the archetype of the tree as a metaphor for the self, and tension between heaven and hell, and between between opposites, that allows the tree to become this channel of life and this channel for creative growth. So it's very very fitting, beautiful expression. Do you mind if may I say one thing?
Yes.
And maybe they're there and I just can't see them. I'm feeling like I want to see the roots. I want to know how you nourish yourself.
Thank you.
Yes, it's just coming to me. That's what I want to feel out of that. So I got through doing my haikus, so I'm gonna share those. And I was really stuck on the last one. Actually, it was very interesting. Fittingly, I had to go grab a fresh scrap of paper. I had to be more generous and more abundant with my art supplies. And then the minute I did that, it opened right up, and I love the way that it came out. So my haikus in order. Beauty feeds my soul as the sun makes the world grow ever wilder bright. Shows me the way a will-o-wisp on the path, and so I follow. Love is all I am and all I have to offer, beginning and end. Abundance flows forth from our beauty, joy, and love. Council of Muses.
Wow.
I love it so much. It's just this marvelous gathering of muses. So I was very, very, very happy how that came out. And I am going to do a quinacridone violet glaze over all of this with a little bit of varnish to make sure that I stick down the, to stick down the, whatchamacallits first. Come on, you silly. It's been sitting on its butt for too long. The
The
paint is
varnish or the,
no, the paint. The paint was just taking a while to come up to the. Taking a while to come up.
are you
to
gonna put the varnish in the paint?
I think I'm just gonna do the tissue paper with clear varnish, just to lay it down. To put these haikus in there, and then yep. I might have to make sure that I listen to that bit of the recording and write these haikus down too, because they are, especially the last one, I love so much. But I love the will-o-wisp too, I've got to say. Oh no, well, whatever. This is what we call the unexpected result. Or wait, I didn't mean that to be in there, that color to be in there. Okay, it is now. It is now.
What happened?
Oh, I thought all the blue paint where I put the varnish down was dry, but I picked up quite a bit of it, and this whole haiku turned dark phthalo blue. So, unfortunately, it's not working for me aesthetically, but that's okay. Usually something comes out of it when that happens. Well, who cares? All right. You know what? I'm just gonna bless this with an abundance of varnish right on the page. Bam. That's more like it. That's coming out. All right. All right. So these are my haikus. And this is going to be my, this is going to be yummy, very thin glaze of quinacridone violet. And I even got one of my sash brushes out for this,
Wow.
which I haven't used in far too long. All right, we're going to go really thin, a lot of water, and just over the whole thing with the quinacridone violet. Oh. All right, and we're going to bring out some of these colors again after it dries.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it's a little muddy at the moment, but it'll be clear when it dries what I need to do. So beautiful. There we go. Needs to be deeper at the edges. Oh yeah. There we go. There we go. Going deeper on the edges makes the center really glow. I'm going to be playing with some more with this, I think, over the next day or two. And maybe, oh, gonna get back to doing interstitial this week because when I work on the pages in the middle, I like to make sure I get a bit.
You still there? I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
Hey there. So,
Hi.
hi. So yeah, my phone died even though I plugged it in. It died again. So
Okay.
that's all I'm getting out of that. I was just saying I really love how making the edges darker really makes the center glow a bit more. And
Yeah.
I've got a little more work I really want to do on this page, and also I'll probably be doing an interstitial video this week.
Okay.
So I was saying that those interstitials, when I do work on the pages in between the creative play dates, my free live streams, I also make the interstitials free. Those are that's up on my Patreon page. So if you want to check that out, it's at patreon.com/studio Tara Erin. And you can follow my Patreon page there for my public posts. So
Patreon. Sorry, Patreon.
yeah, patreon.com/Studio Tara Erin.
Studio. Tara Erin.
Yep, Studio Tara
And
Erin.
stuff, right? Okay. Thanks.
Yep. And then if you follow that, then you should get the updates when I do stuff like the public posts and whatnot. So
Okay.
and I hope I get to do an interstitial on this week because I'm having so much fun with it, and I've got so much more to do with it. And
It's so beautiful.
I know.
I want mine, but I won't have time, so.
What'd you say?
I'd love to do mine. I'd love to glaze mine because it's pretty,
Yeah.
but I just don't have time.
Yeah,
I still can find that cap.
Yes, yeah. So anywho, I'm gonna mop up some of this actually.
Yeah, this is a dual tip. I'm afraid if I lose, I lost the tip to the cover.
Yeah, yeah.
If I don't cover one end, the other end's
The
going to
other end
dry
can
out too, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that's possible. That's very possible.
Okay. What about a piece of cellophane and a rubber band?
That might work. You'd have to get it pretty tight, I would think, but it should at least slow it down until you
Plus
have
a
a chance
baggie.
to- Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love this one. This is like my favorite grounding page I ever made, I think.
I think it might be mine too.
I am gonna definitely put handprints on it. I definitely want my hands into all this juiciness. And I am gonna probably bring green glowing light all the way through it, bring a lot of the binding out and whatnot, and bring back more of that. Make sure I have a lot of that glow coming through the back. So this will be fun. Yes, it will. All right, ma'am. Well, thank you so much for joining me tonight, and I'll see you next time you're able to come to Celts Live Muses Creative Playdate.
Alrighty.
Alrighty. Bye, Bettina.
Bye.